Hi, and welcome again to another edition of Market Analysis for today, June 20th of 2025 on GeoPentacore, and this is a recording done by Vantage Markets right about 45 minutes prior to the USA session open. Well, maybe the tackle trade, the phrase coined to suggest President Donald Trump always chickens out, doesn't just apply to tariffs. Trump set a 2-week deadline yesterday for a decision on whether the U.S. will intervene in the Iran-Israel war. That's a relief for the stock market as it removes the risk of an imminent attack, which had seemed a real threat over the Juneteenth holiday. It also increases the chances of diplomacy riding to the rescue. European foreign ministers have an opportunity to capitalize on that at the meeting with their Iranian counterpart in Geneva today. But the stock market may not fully embrace the tackle mantra this time. The geopolitical risk is still very much heightened. Iran's foreign minister said today that while Israel continued its attacks, there was no place for dialogue with the U.S. If investors decide to take the deadline at face value, though, it will coincide with the final week of Trump's 90-day pause on tariffs on countries around the world. The beginning of July could herald another spike in uncertainty and volatility for markets. Of course, that turmoil could come sooner. Earnings next week will put the U.S. economy and the impact of tariffs back in the spotlight. For example, FedEx, often seen as an economic bellwether, Nike, particularly exposed to levies, and Carnival, a good gauge of travel demand, are among those reporting. While the tackle trade may not be the main course for markets right now, it will remain on the menu as Trump continues to keep traders guessing. And with that being said, let's take a look at the market's fluctuation so far. So we are on Friday. Now the market did, with that news, it did actually open with a gap up. So we are pushing higher above 22,000, that psychological value. So let's take a look at, let's use the medium or the 20-day moving average within Bollinger Bands as a first level of support, and then a round value of 21,600 as our second one, 600-ish. And now, since we already fluctuating above the 22,000 value, well, the resistance has been actually being obviously tested. So let's see how much of that will hold. So let's use that 22,200 as our second level of resistance, and let's use 22,100, which the market has already come towards it and has been rejected. So let's see if this news will continue. It is Friday also, so keep that in mind. We'll continue to move on the upside. So let's movement to the upside, being bullish, buying. Then as far as for the S&P, let's use the 20-day moving average and lower our second level of support to 59.60. Our level of 60.50 is being rejected as we speak, so let's just leave it. Could we say let's just leave it? It's been penetrated, so let's just use 60.60 as a psychological, and then the top Bollinger Band as a level of resistance. Yes, momentum is to the upside, so looking for a buy, being bullish. Also, the Dow has a stronger gap up than its peers, so that, and it's already fluctuating above the medium. So dynamically, we can use that level as a support since the market is above it. So let's use that. Let's use 42,200-ish as a first level, and the lower Bollinger Band. Actually, yesterday's close, right around yesterday's close. I think the market is going to continue to move higher today. It just looking to for the momentum to spill over the U.S. session open, because this is momentum from the London session. So let's just continue doing that. Let's continue to stay long on our positions. All right, so crude oil, with that decision, with that news, it'll go up and gap down, a strong gap down. I mean, this candle closed at 75.20, and this one opened at 73.72. So that's a pretty strong gap down. Now, will the market come up to the close? $74 has been rejected already. So let's use around or 75 and 74 as level of resistance. 72 is going to stay the same because the market did already fluctuate towards it, and it was rejected. Let's bring up our second level of support in 71. RSI is in the neutral area, or I will say neutral. So the fluctuation of the market, I am going to assume profit taking is going to happen. It's going to take place when the U.S. opens up, and also it is Friday, so people most likely will close positions out. They don't want to have any surprises. Which, if any surprises were to happen in relation to attacks, bigger attacks, it will just spike crude oil. So there you go. Nat Gas fluctuating towards $4. So let's just use that as psychological round value because it was rejected yesterday. The market did hit that and it was rejected. So let's use that. And today we have fluctuated above it, but we already retraced a whole lot. So let's use that, and then let's use 408 as our second level of resistance. So our first target is see if the market will come in and rebound off, or it has a rebound off the upper Bollinger Band, which can act as a level of support. 390, I'm gonna use a pretty tight level of support, and then the second one, I'm gonna use the Wednesday's close, which is around 398, 386. So I'm gonna use the 386 right there. So let's use that. Let's see how much lower fluctuation we'll see in the markets today. Gold. So gold continues. Well, yesterday it was a pretty dire day for gold. Now we are basically trading below our level of support. So has a rebound of 33.40. Well, we will know. Let's just use 33.30, and then the 50-day moving average as our second level of support. 33.80 first level of resistance, and 3400 psychological round value. So as the market finds calm in these geopolitical uncertainties, or at least for now, I think profit taking is taking a strong toll, since we have obviously open gap down on gold. So let's see how much lower are we going to be trading in the metals. So silver is also just trading lower. So let's use that medium there, and then 34.5. As far as resistance, well, let's use yesterday's swing high and then the previous day's swing high as possible level of support, resistance. Sorry about that. Then we have copper. Let's take a look at copper. Copper, what is copper doing? So copper actually has a pretty wide range. So let's use that particular swing. Actually, the swing high and the 50-day moving average, since it has made such a wild swing. And then as far as resistance goes, I'm going to bring this puppy down to 488. Let's see if it'll make another attempt higher. Bitcoin, just idling, is it? Actually, it has traded above the 50 and the 20. So it's a good momentum to the upside. Let's just use 107 as our first level of resistance, and then 108 as our second. Use that 104-ish, and then 103. So still looking for another bid, so staying long on that. Currencies, the euro is looking to stay north of 115. Let's see if that will happen. So let's tighten up our second level and use the medium or the 20-day moving average. So looking for a nice move to the upside. It did open gap down a bit. It has been closed. So let's see if another leg up can be seen during the U.S. session trading. So we have here the pound. Let's use the in this case the medium or middle of the 20-day moving average as it's above the market, and then the lower Bollinger Band for level. Actually, I'm gonna use 134,400, and then the lower Bollinger Band. So looking for a move to the upside to continue this momentum to the upside. Now, things will happen that way as we see that the market of the dollar index could continue its move lower, even though it's preparing now. It did open gap down, so that gap it has actually been closed. So let's see if it does move towards 98 and lower. We'll see a nice push to the upside on the metals and the currencies. That's it for today. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.